Okay. Okay, I gotta select. I already built a vehicle to start this with. Let's try to remember what the hell it was. The spec 2. Got our little quadcopter in here. It was a little bit of a pain to build, but I did set up one of the fairing bases to be my landing pad when I get to Duna. I got 3 of these claw units that'll activate once I get off the pad on Duna. So if I want to land there and refuel with the fuel that's left in my return vehicle, which is this guy right here, I can just retract my landing gear and land on one of those 3, and it will link me up to the ship. I am running fuel cells, so I do need fuel, although it takes quite a while for those things to run dry. I got 2 large fuel arrays up here. Okay. Well, let's just get this thing on the road. Let's see what kind of astronauts I have. I am playing in sandbox mode, so I don't have to worry about too much. I want to keep 2 pilots if possible, so I'm going to get rid of Bill here. I can throw Valentine. The 2 best pilots, have them in there. I'm not going to have anyone in the Mark 1 command pod. When I built this thing, I should have built that Mark 1 with a drone unit in it so I could control it. But I'd have to separate parts to put it in the center to keep the balance equal instead of putting it on the side, and I don't feel like messing with this thing. So when I get there, I'll have to detach the copter, land it, use my ladder, which is, it works, but it's a little shaky, to get into the capsule and jettison this little part right here that has all those Cephalotron solid rocket boosters on it. The only thing I'm using to hold it on there, if you can see, is just a little docking port right there, and of course all the struts. Alright, let's go ahead and launch this. I'll have to get myself into a window to get to Duna, so I'll have to fast forward. Because this is a live broadcast, there'll be a lot of waiting around. I'll be saving it a couple times, so once it's saved in a file, if you ever do watch this afterward, obviously you'll be wanting to do a lot of jumping, because this is probably going to be about 30-minute video, maybe 45 minutes. All right. There we are. Pretty fairing. Looks kind of wonky, but it works. I already had this thing set up so it's facing to the to the east. So all I gotta do is once I launch, I decide to start pitching. I'll just pull back on the stick a bit. All right, let's see where we are. I'm actually not too far from a good window. Usually you draw a line from duna to the edge of the circle, right about there, and that's usually a pretty good place to launch it. That works for duna. It works for some of the closer planets. When you start getting out to Jool, well, Jool's not a good example because it's got such a big gravity well. You could be off by quite a bit and still get an encounter, but it's a good rule of thumb for this. I could find out the exact angle for perfect, for having a perfect window. Going online, I think they have a whole bunch of sites that tell you what the best angle is before you do an escape, but I'll just eyeball it. It's the PS4 version, obviously, so that should work right there. Looks like we're going to be doing a night launch. That's fine. I'm going to save it here. I'm going to edit it. And call it doing a window. So if I screw up anything, I can just come right back here. All right. Getting some notifications. I doubt anyone's watching this, but if you are, welcome. The whole purpose of this is just to get to Duna with my little quadcopter, fly it around, maybe do a refuel. And land it, get off of it, get onto my return vehicle, and come back to Kerbal. I've done it before. It's one of the more interesting, fun things to do. It took me a little while to engineer this thing. It's probably overpowered, but she works pretty well. All right. Full thrust. Let's get this guy rolling. enough up that I can get rid of this thing. There's my little quadcopter. Now that wasn't a very efficient takeoff, but it's not going to matter. Let's see where I'm at. $153 is my apoapsis. I do like one of the updates where they put the little where's that? Maneuver mode, toggle. Where was it? That's toggle map. Yeah, and maneuver node gives you this information where I don't believe it did before, so you don't really have to look at the map to find out what your apoapsis, periapsis are. Right there, it says apoapsis 153. I'm gonna go ahead and set this guy for prograde. I'm not going to let him rotate over yet because that prograde is going to change. All right, stop a little bit short of the marker. I will have to give it some time to rotate. Yeah, it's close enough. A little bit of gas. Turn faster. Let's see what we got here. One was 173, as you see here, and 141. Not very circular, but for my purposes, it's good enough. And I like eyeballing everything, so let's see where my direction of travel. There's my orbit around the sun. The thicker line is behind you, and the thinner line is where you're going. So I usually like to burn instead of burning right here, which you'll screw up. I usually go about, I don't know, 20 degrees or something. Add my maneuver, and this will end up changing probably. Escape. Do not see where it's throwing me. there. But I'd rather attach it right about there. Let's see if I can adjust it slightly. That right there should work. I believe that uses the least amount of fuel. That's 47 seconds, so you split that, that would be 23 and a half. And it's all on the same stage. I don't have to stage, so that won't waste any time. So I'll probably burn at 20. We'll burn at 24. Not worry about that half a second. I was actually pretty close with it. Out of curiosity, let's see how far off I was. Yeah, I just went up on the, I went a little bit bigger angle. What I'm talking about, I'm gonna use my cursor, as I placed the marker about there. It ended up being there, so. And that should be the most efficient way to get there. Once your ship is rotated over and is lined up with the maneuver node, usually, most of the time, you can time skip or speed up time to get to your maneuver node. Sometimes it drifts off of there, but usually it stays on. Alright, what did I say? I was going to do it at 23 seconds. I'm down to a minute and 21, 18, 17, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm within a minute. Alright, slow down time. When it gets to 24, I'm just going to give it full thrust and let her roll. 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, burn. a lot of trust in these maneuver nodes. A lot of people say they're a little wonky and they're not accurate. If you play them right and don't rush through them, they usually work out pretty well. There, I went 1 millisecond over, or 1/10 of a millisecond over. That's not going to make much of a difference, at least at this distance. Let me see what it's showing me. Zooming out. Yeah, it looks like I still have an encounter, but sometimes the overlay confuses people, so I'll cancel that. Yep, I still got an encounter. At this point, I'll go ahead and... Am I still hauling ass? No, I'm not. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, I'm still in orbit occur. I was trying to focus on doing it, but it won't let you do it till you leave Kerbin's sphere of influence. So let's speed up time here. Shouldn't take long. I don't like to go right to the full speed right away because you start getting glitches in the game, so I usually do about 3 stages of speeding up. There we go. And it automatically slows down once you move past the sphere of influence. Now I should be able to focus on doing it. Yep. And what do we got going on here? Looks like I'll have to do a normal burn. I could just do it without the maneuver node, but those things tend to be a little expensive when it comes to fuel consumption, so... And this far out, it's better to get it close and right, so... I think I will make that a course correction, a mid-course correction, so speed up time to get to that point. I could put the maneuver node in now, but I'd like to get close to where I'm going to put the maneuver node. Live feed on YouTube using my cell phone, so just make sure nothing's getting too glitchy. That should be close enough. If you get too close, it makes you have to use a lot of fuel to do whatever correction it is you're trying to do. But too far away, it's just too sensitive. Try to make these corrections at least one sun way, because you're never going to get it perfect the first time. Moving over pretty close to where I'm at. 2 days, 1 hour and 13 minutes from maneuver node. Yeah, I'll place it there. Let's see what this does. We're going to do a normal burn, bring this line up. I'm not using hardly any fuel. 3.5 milliseconds of delta V is not very much. Even here, it's a little temperamental. All right, switch. I do, I usually just use prograde and retrograde to bring the line in and out. Sometimes that works. And I think retrograde would slow me down, which is, oops, I'm using the radial in and radial out, which is the other option. Let's see, slowing down brings me out. So yeah, I will use the radial. I'll be at about 64 kilometers above duna. My altitude is 94. That's way too much. One thing it will do is slowing down will bring, ooh, too much. See, I'm being lazy about this. I'm trying to get it all done right here. What you should do is just do another course correction when you get closer to the planet, and it'll go a little bit easier. But everything... I don't know how it is in a computer, but you got barely move the stick on your controller to get this thing to move, and if you push just slightly too hard, it goes real quick. That puts me at 80. I can correct that once I get in. Ooh. No. Can't do that. Alright, that's at 71. Sorry for the delay there. Now, if I just did the correction, got it closed, did the correction, and then let myself get closer to duna and did another correction, maybe, I don't know, half the distance from where I am right now to duna, to my encounter, it wouldn't have been as testy. Or wait until I got even closer than that. Two things happen there. One, you have to do another course correction, which I don't feel like doing. And two, the closer you get, the more fuel you're going to use to make those corrections. And even though I'm fine on gas, I engineered this thing to be a little bit overdone. I just don't like wasting it. So, and if I do land by the face, I'm gonna have to do a plane alignment because it's not on the equator. Even though I'm not exactly on the equator here, but I'm pretty damn close. And plane alignments use a lot of fuel too. And like I said, I'm still pretty sure I'll have plenty and plane left over, but doesn't hurt to do it in the right way. All right, because this is a live broadcast, you will see me leave the seat a couple times. Alright, what is it? 2 days, 1 hour, and 9 minutes. Because it's a 0.1/10 of a second, of a millisecond. No, 1/10 of a second of burn. I'll just get within about 10 seconds or so of it. You could probably get away with 5 minutes, plus or minus. I don't think it makes any difference at that distance. Such a minor correction. And I'm not going to give it full thrust. I'm just going to give it a tap of thrust. And even that's going to probably, that's another thing about this, is it might take a second to get there. So let's go ahead and get our time down a bit. I forgot what the hotkey was to shut off the time acceleration, so I always got to place my little mouse over those triangles just right. Another advantage the computer has over the PlayStation, but this is still probably my favorite game. 1 day 3 hours, 1 day 2 hours, 1 day 1 hour. It's gonna take a little bit longer. I feel like waiting, but like I said, hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, all right. I'll probably get to the 1 minute mark. What I should have done before I accelerated time was orient my vehicle so it was pointing toward the maneuver node's vector, but I forgot to do that, so I'll have to give it a few seconds, 20 or 30 seconds for it to rotate around to that before I get to where I need to burn. So otherwise you'd be burning in the wrong direction, unless you were incredibly lucky you just happened to be pointed that way. I think I'll cut it at about 2 minutes, and because of the lag time it'll probably get down to about a minute and a half when I do the cut. Yeah, a little bit less than that, but that should be enough time. Okay, we are turning very damn slowly. Check something out here. And it does have me in there. Just making sure. Kind of astounds me. I looked up this particular game. If anyone's new to it, I'm not really new, but it's been around for quite a long time. Alright, we're good enough. Start burning. Just that little bit, you can see my kind of yellowish orange. Whoa! Going a little too fast there. And that's not quite where I want it to be. What's the altitude? 42. That's too low, but I can fix that once I get into the sphere of influence of duna. I'll just do a prograde burn or a radial out. One of the two will, either one will do pretty much the same thing. Prograde will speed me up a bit, making me have to burn a little bit more fuel to slow down and get into an orbit, so it'll probably be better to do a radial out, but they'll both bring that line a little bit further away from the planet, so I'm not too close. I want to get into orbit about 60-ish kilometers above duna. Alright, well, we're good there. Normally I'll fast forward it to this point, but I am going to go make myself a drink. I shall return. I can go ahead and, like I said, I don't like to go straight to full speed, so I'll go up a couple increments before I hit that last arrow. Just keeps the thing from glitching. And once I get into the sphere of influence of duna, I will do a quick save. I'll just save it as a quick save. I just hope I don't have any problems. If you do, sometimes when you load it back up, if you had any action groups set up from the construction of the vehicle, sometimes they get kind of lost in the reloading of the game and they don't work. And sometimes they do. If anyone knows why it does that, please let me know. Alright, I'm in there. We'll do a quick save right here so I don't have to go through all this crap again. And like I said before, cancel out this old maneuver node. Zoom out. The further out you do this, the less fuel you use. I'll put another maneuver node there. That one is only... I don't know what it is, how far. I hit the button too quickly. I didn't need it. You know what? I don't even have to do it. That's just worthless. I will just face my craft to a radial out. And I'll I'll start burning. And monitor my apoapsis until it gets to about 62, 64 kilometers, and then that should be good. And that distance out of there, I think by the time I get there, by the way, the face should be right about where my cursor's at, right about there. Do I have my flags on? Yeah, this save game doesn't have it in there. I didn't get there. Yeah, that's one of the reasons we have the helicopter, the quadcopter. I can fly around and find it if I don't land right on it. Okay, burning. Okay. 52. 61. 63 or so. 63, yes. I think we'll keep it there. But by the time I get there, I think this will probably be over here somewhere. I don't really like landing in the dark. So I can just do a bunch of orbits, but that takes a lot of time if I'm too close to the planet. Now I could go into the tracking station view, but just loading that up takes a lot of time. So you're kind of screwed either way. I'm not going to use a maneuver node to do this orbital insertion burn, so usually you're decent burning. You want to do it before your periapsis. If you wait too long, it gives you a wonky orbit. And obviously you don't want to do it too early though either, so I'm just going to guesstimate an eyeball. I'm glad I don't have the encounter with was it Ike? Yeah, Ike. Stop it there and go ahead and set me up for a retrograde burn. And as I said, it's on the far edge of the planet. I'm gonna have to do a couple of orbits if I want to pull that off and do it in the daytime. I could have had the old Z map of this planet in it, but I can't see nothing back there. The good news is this planet tends to rotate pretty fast, so I don't think it'll be more than 10 to 15 orbits before it comes visible again. Might be less than that. But I do think is that it right there? It might be. Can't really tell. I don't have this set to memory. No, I think it's that right there. Right there. That's still close to the daytime horizon, so. All right. I think about 80 meters per second gets me to where I said before, if I start pointing toward the sky, that's actually pretty damn good. All right. What do we got on this side? It's 93. Get a little bit of speed, get there faster. We're almost there, kiddies. Boom. Monitor this side. Should be pretty close. 64 and 65. Perfect. How much fuel do I have left in that tank? 1,022 milliseconds of delta V. Not to mention I can burn up a little bit in my ascent portion of the craft. Because that thing was designed to be overpowered a bit too. Let's make sure I have all the staging correct. Sometimes I have to change it in a flight, but I don't think I did anything wrong here. Yeah, that breaks. Those fire. The chute's open. And that's all the chutes except for the two I have on the return vehicle. Alright, we should be good. Rotate. And this is just a personal preference. You can do whatever you want, but I'll rotate so the sky is up and the ground is down. Close enough. All right, let's see what we're looking at. Everything I want is the alright. Quick save. Speed up the time as fast as it'll let me go, which is not very fast. But like I said, I think it's right here. So it shouldn't take too many orbits for the planet to rotate enough to bring that thing into the sunlight. What I should have done is picked a save game where I had already landed by the face. I would have planted a flag and I would have just looked for the flag and I would have landed in the dark. But I don't want to try doing that. Plus you can't see anything, so it's not very interesting. Nice if the guys from who makes this game, the chimpanzee with the general's helmet on, whatever the hell the name of the group is, they would add some new music, because this stuff gets old, especially for as long durations as this game pretty much requires you to have to endure. Be nice if they switch it up every now and then. And that's an easy fix. Alright, let's see what we got over here. Yeah, that's it. I'll let it come out a little bit more. I'll do a plane alignment. That'll get me lined up for that and the landing. One thing I meant to do was limit the gimbal on my landing craft. Even though I'm using chutes to get in there, the last, I don't know, 200 feet, you start giving a little bit of thrust to slow your descent. If you have a crap load of gimbal on it, it has a tendency when it gets real close to the ground, you get around maybe 4 meters per second or whatever, it starts to wobble around. Now, one of the remedies to that, a lot of people like to use just to turn off the stability assist system. Yeah, but then you don't. I just don't like doing that. But if you limit the gimbal by about 50%, you still got plenty of gimbal to do all the direction changes you need, but it's not going to be crazy, wonky, flipping around when you get to that low speed. Because it starts trying to overcorrect for itself, and then it just starts and you don't land flush. Alright, well, that's definitely it. I'm going to be landing right around there somewhere, where my cursor's at, because that's roughly where the face is at. So right about where this, what is this, the periapsis? Roughly, not exactly. I'm going to do a normal bird. That'll bring my orbit on this hemisphere up to kind of intersect with this. So we'll kind of draw a line like that, going across Mars. Which I think I'll start doing here when I get around the next orbit. It doesn't have to be exactly at the periapsis, but I think that'll work just fine. Once again, I'm not doing any maneuver nodes for this. I'll just eyeball it and fly manually. That should be good enough. We're going to do a normal bird. start burning, you'll see that line start raising. Say I want to land right about there, and the line's just a little bit lower. Well, by the time it rotates to about here, it's going to be right on that line. So I have to do a few corrections on the way in, but that should work. Do a quick save. Speed up time a bit. Because I'm at 65 kilometers up, I could probably stop it there. Retrograde bird. Let's see what our ship looks like. Pretty. I'll rotate it so the sky's up. And what I mean by that is in the nav ball that the blue's on the top and the orange is on the bottom. Or brownish orange. This is just in case you have to do some corrections. I like to be worded in a certain way. Other people might like it so the sky is on the left and the ground is on the right. Or flip-flop it all together, or have it in some weird-ass orientation. Who knows? This is just for me. Alright. Keep an eye on the map. Stay. Now typically, and you can't really see it on this, but it's kind of a crater with a mountain in the middle. This donut should be relatively flat. That crater or mountain in the middle is a little rocky. There are plenty of flat surfaces there too once you get close enough. I want to land on something that's relatively flat. So, do my best to kind of come in there right. Get to a lower altitude. How much fuel do I have left? Let's see, I got plenty. What's my speed? 676 meters per second. That brakes. Those fire. This shoots it. Looks like everything's set up right. And that goes. Fires. Yeah, I think everything, as far as staging goes, I think I got it set up properly, so. do a bit of a normal burn to bring her back up sub. Should be more than enough. Go back to retrograde. Video's gone on a little bit longer than I expected, but that's fine. Kind of don't want to get the atmosphere going faster at about 450 meters per second. Optimally, I want to keep it around 3. I do have my chutes programmed to open up pretty high up, so. Plenty of fuel left. I think I'm hitting atmosphere now, or should be around here. I don't remember what the altitude is for atmosphere on duna, but if I haven't hit it yet, I'm getting close to. All right. That's right about where I need to be. Okay, out of fuel. Dropping it. That's my return vehicle, the landing pad on top. Drop power. You can see my blades switch pitch because everything's tied to this. chutes are ready to deploy. And I should be pretty close to see where the face is. Chances of me landing right at it are pretty slim, but good news, I'm landing on relatively flat ground. I'll say the face is somewhere in that direction. I'm not positive exactly where. Everything seems to be working right. I will do a quick save here. I might be a little bit further from the face than I wanted to be, but that's why we brought the quadcopter. It goes relatively fast down here, and I should be able to get to it. Anyone watching, by the way? Throw a comment in. Let me know you're here. It says on YouTube I got 2. One of them is me, so at least one person's watching. Okay, decent landing. Everything looks good. Do a quick save. Yes, 10 was the one that brought all the ladders down. ladders are more of a gimmick because you don't really need them on this planet. You can just thrust or pack up to the door, but they do work, but they're a little bit of a pain. Alright, manually open up these guys. Or arm them. And this is just, if I ever want to land and refuel, they'll catch me. I'm not too worried about refueling. All right. Let's aim the camera here. Because from here on out, for a few seconds at least, control point will be forward. Now, if I did this properly, everything should work properly. I'll go ahead and decouple. Alright, I'm no longer connected to the rest of the spacecraft. I believe I set up for Action Group 1 to turn everything on. Yep, fuel cells are running. Brakes are on. So, just raise the torque limit on all my rotors to 100. Keep one of them online. Wrong button. Alright, I drop my RPM limit down to about there. $264 should be good. Alright, once I release the brakes, they should start rotating. Stop them, start them again. So, thrust. This is why we have quick save. this time I'm going to leave the throttle all the way up. Control point. Forward and camera. Decouple node. Everything should be on, brakes on. Keep the RPM limit a little bit higher this time. Stay around 304. They should all be there, so let me just make sure. I'll check. Can't think of anything else I need to do, so releasing the brakes. I'll just let them build up power. Oh, and yes, go to your settings, because I'm flying it like an airplane. I'm going to switch you on a roll. That tends to help. Double check I did that right. Alright, start giving her a little bit of collective. Here we go. Now it's working. All right. This is where the cool stuff starts happening. It's not really cool, it's actually boring, but I think I put a ladder here. Yes, I did. We'll take Jebediah out. Save the in here too. We're going to eject this center pylon here. I want to aim the camera here because last time I did that, it maybe had to follow it. All right. And by the way, all I did with that was put 3 separatrons, whatever, one of which was slightly angled different than the other 2, so it doesn't back down. By the way, you can see a bunch of them later on in the game. This whole top part comes off. The same way, if you look at all these separatrons, I got 2 of them that are pretty close right here. It gives you a little bit of extra thrust in that one end so it doesn't shoot straight up. It goes up and off to the side so it doesn't land right back where it came from. Destroy my spacecraft. But I did forget to arm these. That's not even registered in a flying that. All right. I'm probably not going to refuel, but I can if I wanted to. It's part of the reason I keep this platform, but all right. Now that we've done all that, so I don't have to worry about it again. Save it. Get Jebediah back out. I don't know why it does that. All right, Jeb. I could have just as easily used a thruster pack. It would have went a lot faster, but where the hell is my... Oh, there it is. It's like, where is my helicopter? Quadcopter. Got everything I need on there. Got lights if it gets dark. Alright. One more save. Now, one thing in this, when you start flying, sometimes if you're going fast and you want to slow down, if you do it too quickly, it loses lift and it can make the craft crash. It is incredibly durable as long as you don't hit a blade on the ground. Those landing gear are pretty robust. Alright, let's go look for the face on Mars, or Duna. I left the ladder down. I don't think it really does anything, but I'll retract it. A little bit more oomph. And this might take a little time, so I know the face is around here somewhere. I believe that's it right up there. Little dot in the middle of the screen. Could be wrong. Check our consumables. Liquid fuel and oxygenator. Yeah, they're being consumed, but not very fast. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's it. Yay! For those of you who didn't know this, there is a little face on Duna. Kind of the face they said they found back in the 70s on Mars, except it's the shape of a Kerbal. Basically, my intentions are going to land near it, plant a flag there, get back in the chopper, head back to the main vehicle, leave this thing behind, head back to Kerbin. That will end the video. Let's go ahead and start slowing down. Drop our collective a bit. There it is. Little Kerbal face on Duna. See, Jim and I did it the last time. I will let Valentina do the honors of planting the flag. You can land on this thing, by the way, but the terrain measure surface is kind of wonky. Sometimes you sink in it. I've had a Kerbal just explode. So let's go ahead and have her flag. Simply call it face. For some reason it should be a NASA flag, but it's not. I ain't gonna worry about it. Sure, we lift up the ladder this time. I know it's back there, but just to make life easier for me. That's where the face is. Set that as a target so we know where it's at. It's only 11 kilometers away. I did pretty good. Got us pretty close. Okay. Edges are fired up. Give her some collective. Sometimes you gotta hit the brake and start it again to get the torque you need. There we go. See the inside. I am a Flight Simulator X fan. I do like the realism of being inside the cockpit. Kerbal doesn't do nearly as good a job as they did, but they do pretty good for what the game is. There's my light. Let me turn my lights on. Oh, you can't from in here. Oh well. Doing some minor adjustments to my RPMs because she was starting to sink. for whatever reason, that RPM adjustment really keeps you from crashing. Mission on here is almost done. Last thing we have to do is get home. Was it the greatest landing? I do want to save this because in this particular save file I don't have a flag at the face, so just so I know exactly where it is. So I do intend to get these people home safely. Now it's just a matter of getting them outside. Jeb up there. Oh, there we go. It might be backwards, but... Alright, jib's on. There's a beautiful Valentina. Get her out on EVA. Let go. Funny enough, that aircraft is, as long as it doesn't get destroyed when I take off, should still be fully operational if I ever come back again. And what is it with her? She could never climb this part. Alright, that's fine. RCS engaged. We're just going to fly up there. She's in too. Bit of an itch. Alright, and I got all this stuff ready to go. Make sure everything is controlled from here. Let's raise the ladders. All right, we're going to eject the landing pad, so here we go. Engine test. Engines are still working. Okay. We are ready to launch. And of course, I don't want to launch right this second, so we want to make sure we're in a window for Kerbin. Set it as target. Speed up time. getting there. Should give me the best.
All right.
Gonna head east. Take it off. Back to switch yard roll. Hello, Ike. Alright, I will be right back. All about getting back to curbing right now. Circular eye is my orbit. Should be good enough. Burning. All right. How much fuel I got left in that guy? Quite a bit. Now we just need to find somewhere around here. Should be optimal for going home. That's it. It's a 22-second burn. 22-second burn back to curbing. Split 22.5 into a half, you get 11. I'll start burning at 12. I was like burning 1 second early. 7 minutes for the node. 6. Faster than that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I think we'll watch the burn from out here. Burn in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looking good. Just in case. Incremental step toward full speed, just so there's no glitches. To about halfway. Corrections. Let's focus on curbing. 1 hour. Okay, that's good. I could put myself in orbit. And land where I want. what I'm going to try to do. I don't know if it's going to work out. We shall see. Setting up the converter. It's like a little dragon monster face. I wonder if I should have enough delta V to get into a tight orbit. And then from there decide when I want to land. 1 hour 51 minutes. Wow, that was just luck that I cut it just perfectly. How much delta V do I have in this engine? Oh, 4,536. Yeah, I shouldn't have any problem getting into orbit. Tight orbit. Incrementally step up. It'll automatically slow down once I get into the sphere of influence of Kerbin. Should be good right there. Retrograde orientation. was close enough. I think I'll land close to the space station, so. Ass load of fuel left too. Let's see where we stand. Waste of fuel, but there's the space station. Or space center, I should say. Should be getting some plasma trails. Yep, there they are. There's an island airstrip over there. At least I'm somewhere in familiar territory. Speed it up a bit. Usually deploy my chutes just under 1600. To hear the splash. Safely back on Kerbin. Recover vessel. Save it. That was a special ship or spec ship, so SPEC is done. It was made for that got special missions, so that mission's done, suspect done. Alright, mission's done. I appreciate anyone who might have watched. Doesn't look like anyone was, but maybe you learned something. Ask me questions. You got my YouTube handle. Alright, farewell.